There we are, live on the internet. Welcome to Caching in the Northwest.
Oh, dancing.
Thank you, all the patrons of the interwebs. You found us on a Thursday evening, and welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the only podcast from the birthplace of geocaching in the Great Pacific Northwest. We'll talk about caches and cachers from around the globe. Now, while you're busy reporting your local lemonade stand, we'll be caching in the Northwest. And you know we can't do that until we bring in our classroom capuchin. Some say he's defeated a wall in a game of ping pong. And others say he's so tough he shaves with a wood chipper. All I know is he's called Land Monkey.
Hey. Hello, folks. You may have noticed something special on our show. Chris and I have decided that we're just not quite pretty enough for you guys. So we decided to go and find Carly to join us.
You guys are sweet.
So Carly, welcome to the show. Folks, if you don't know Carly, she's from HQ. She's going to be talking to us about Geocaching EDU, or what EDU? What do you call it?
I'm saying Geocaching EDU. It's actually a very common term among other gaming resources, like Minecraft have an EDU site. So I kind of was inspired by them. So EDU, Geocaching EDU.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Carly. And it's awesome to have you on the show tonight. And for the folks who are giving me a bit of a hard time in the chat, bonus points if you can name the dance that I was doing earlier, or at least the reference from where that came. So, you know, it's an 80s music video that I was working on there. So you got to be able to catch that. Anyways, you know what? I also want to throw out a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And if you want to know more about supporting this very podcast, click that Patreon link on the cachingedw.com website.
And another thing we like to do each and every week. Thank you, Dora Moore, for proposing this so long ago, it seems now. But we like to do the geocaching log of the week, or as we term it, glow. So whether you wrote it or whether you read it, we want to hear about it, because great logs simply make geocaching better. Send an email to feedback@cachingedw.com or call into 253-693-TFTC, or use the voicemail tool on the website and read us your glow in your own voice, because it sounds better. And folks, don't forget, we really do need your glows. So I thank you for the people who have sent them in this week. We do need some more because, you know, I don't know if you noticed, but we read one of those each and every week. This week's glow, I thought, kind of fit with the education theme that we've got going for this show. Now, it's a little shorter than I normally have for a glow, but it's poignant. This one was logged by Leash and Mecca, and their log says, "My 4-year-old found this and brought it home, not knowing what it was. We now know what it is and have signed up ourselves, added a treasure, and we'll replace it first thing in the morning. So exciting. Thank you."
Hopefully their 4-year-old remembers exactly where they found it.
Yeah.
I guess they can't put replaced as found in the log.
Well, you know, I think it's a great idea. I mean, how many times do we hear, oh yeah, somebody found it and, you know, it's been muggled and they didn't know what it was, but they took the time to look into it. There must have been a good information card in there.
They
found out about geocaching, and now they're no longer muggles. They're initiated into the sport, the hobby, the obsession.
If only there was some sort of website they could have gone to. Materials that would have helped them understand what they were doing.
Was there any follow-up logs after that one?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Yeah.
Hey, research department.
I was going to say, we have a wonderful research department on this podcast. It's
BC 3 November Victor
Quebec
0. Darn it, I couldn't remember.
The one Canadian word.
Well, Mike is a Canadian word. Mike from Canmore.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anyways, you got some audio too, right?
We do have some audio because, you know, people do listen and they call in with, this isn't a globe, but it's a little feedback from our good friend Limax. Let me hit play.
I'm listening to the show where you're talking about grandfathered caches, and you have mistakenly given me credit for finding the virtual on top of Mount Umunum. I have not found the cache on Mount Umunum yet. It is on my list of things to do. That was actually from another local cacher that was the first to find it, and it was pointed out to me at our weekly event at lunchtime. And sad to say, I've never had a story like that either, but oh my gosh. I'm not sure if I would have been able to handle it as well as he did. Anyway, just wanted to clear the air on that one. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Limax. And okay, first of all, seriously, is that actually the name of the mountain, or is that just what the locals call it? Because I want to meet and interview the person who named that mountain and then give them something to thank them for the most cool mountain name ever.
Umunum. All I can think of is bump, 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 bump. Umunum. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm sure that's what everybody who hikes it sings. Yeah.
That's what we call the mountain, says Limax. It's got to be in Northern California. That's where Limax is from. And he says that's what we call the mountain.
Huh.
And Dora Moore is already doing the do 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 in the chat. So yeah, there we go. They're gone. We've lost the chat now. All right. What else have we got? We had a comment from YouTube. So Tick Magnet left us a comment on YouTube from a previous video. Said, thanks for catching up on the podcasts. Last week, I drove back from Austin, Texas, all alone. I would have lost my mind without my friends from the Northwest. Thanks. That's awesome, man.
Now, Land Monkey, you read that very well, but you missed a letter, or you added a letter that wasn't there.
Which one?
I would have lost my mind without my fiends from the Northwest.
Ah, sorry. Yes, my brain just automatically dropped an R in that word.
I think I consider Tick Magnet a friend, but a fiend could be appropriate too.
All right. Well, I think that's all of our pre-show content here before we start talking to Carly about what she really came here to talk about.
Oh, excited to be here. I am really excited to be here.
You've waited years to
I've been waiting years, you guys. Years and years.
So we apologize for not getting you on so much sooner.
I know. My coworker Audrey's been on here, I think 3 times now. So, and I sit next to her every day, and she tells me, every single morning, it's the highlight of her career at geocaching. So
I bet it is. All right. Well, speaking of at headquarters there where you work, we're going to talk about Geocaching EDU. Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Yeah, no problem.
And we're kind of wondering a little bit about yourself, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about your role at HQ.
Sure. So my username, geocaching username, is Carly. I was one of the lucky ones to actually get my name. When I first started at the company, it was La Rubia, which means blondie in Spanish. And I studied abroad in Barcelona, so that was kind of my nickname when I lived over there. So I took that username for a while, but then I realized
we're hanging on every word.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, you froze again there.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're good.
So I've been at the company for about 5.5 years now, and I started on the community side and social media team. And then I was on the partnerships and promotions team for a while as well, working on the trackable promotions. So I worked on Magic the Gathering was the most recent one I worked on. And then for the last 1.5 years, I've been on the marketing team focusing on new users and getting new people into the game. So new user acquisition.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been in a lot of roles.
Wow, that is impressive. Yes.
A lot of different sides of the business. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been really fun. And I've learned a lot about the game, starting on the community side. So I think I feel like I can answer most questions about the game at this point, especially when I was, answering all the emails coming into the queue. That was great practice for actually learning the ins and outs of the game. But definitely my background's more in marketing. So naturally, I just shifted into this sort of role.
Right on. And I've noticed there's a number of the official geocaching blog posts that are authored by Carly.
Yeah. Yep. When I was on the social team, I wrote a lot of blog posts. And again, another great way to learn about the game and to interview people in the community. So I actually kind of miss writing those blog posts, and it's taken over now by other people, but it was a good time.
Maybe they can have you back to guest blog.
I'd love that.
We'll have a sit down and a talk with Rock Chalk when we see him next.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get that taken care of. Now, you're so busy at Geocaching HQ. Do you actually have time to get out and go geocaching yourself?
Yeah. I would say I'm not on Rock Chalk level at all.
I don't think anybody in the world is on Rock Chalk level.
But I've found over 800 caches, and I think my proudest stat is that I've cached in 24 different countries.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's impressive.
Yeah. In the last 5 years. So I've been in 24 countries in the last 5 years. And that's sort of my geek out thing, I guess, in the game is, every country I go to, I have to find a geocache.
That's totally understandable. All right. So what do you enjoy most about geocaching?
I think for me, the most memorable geocaches have been the really extreme adventurous ones. So I've been to a few mega events in Portugal. I've gone the last couple of years to Portugal for their Love mega event. And a host, or one of the cache hiders of Where I Go, hid this geocache inside an old World War II Nazi cave. And in order to go and find it, you have to wade into waist deep water for over 2 hours in the pitch black. And at the time I was, so nervous and so scared and freezing, but afterward it was kind of like a thrill. So I love the extreme caches the most.
Okay. We're not going to gloss over this one. Hold on. Let me back up here for a minute. Was it really waiting for 2 hours, or was it like a 2 hour hike and there was some waiting involved?
No, the entire time I was in a cave for over 2 hours in freezing water. I actually don't even know how my legs moved. I couldn't feel them at the end. And I had worn, I think, not geocacher shoes for this. It was like Vans or something. And so I was just so not equipped for it, but it was my mindset. I was able to power through.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
So, Carly, we've got some questions from the chat for you already. So while we're talking about your geocaching and you as a person, as opposed to your project, the first question comes from Bry Lang. He's wondering if you're part of the Wandering Lackeys. The Wandering Lackeys. Can you clarify exactly what that means? Like the lackeys who love to travel, or? It's capitalized. So I don't know if that's like there's a group from HQ that. Apparently not, but maybe I should be. There you go. Is it a secret club I don't know about? I don't know. There's another question from Keepers of the Cash Flow is, are you going caching? I am not, but both my teammates are. So you'll meet Audrey and Brigitte, my two coworkers, and I think there's 5 or 6 other lackeys going. So there's a lot. There you go. But you got to take care of my 2 coworkers. This is their first mega event. So yeah. Awesome. So Brylan got back to us in the chat and said that he found a cache a few weeks back. Oh, yeah, yes, I am. I know exactly what he's talking about now. Okay. So you are a wandering lackey. Yeah. That was, I think, part of a group outing we went on. So I always forget all the different group names that we sign as. It's like something different every time. It depends on like the day and the theme. Right. But we just had our 5-year, so I've been at the company for 5 years, and we had a 5-year reunion retreat last week, actually. The 2 founders we all go out and hang out together for a couple days. And so a lot of us went caching for a big chunk of the time. So I don't even remember what our username was for that, but it could have been Wandering Lackeys.
While you went out and got 2 or 3, you know, Rock Chalk got 24 or 50.
He's not at 5 years yet, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I think next year he will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. There's another great question from GSMX2, but I'm going to leave it till a little later in the show because a little more related to the business of what you're doing there.
Sure.
And it's a great question. So I'm just going to paste it a little later in the show, and we'll keep rolling with the questions here that we've got already planned. So, Carly, what is the goal of Geocaching EDU?
Sure. That's a great question. So I mean, you guys have been around the game for a while, but a lot of people don't know that we've actually had marketing, collateral, and different informational assets available to geocachers for quite some time. But all those materials had been a little outdated. They were scattered around geocaching.com. If you actually go to geocaching.com/education, you can see what the original page looked like. It's very dated. And so my goal was to create a new resource, a new hub where facilitators, educators can go and get different collateral assets to teach geocaching to new groups of geocachers who are interested in learning about the game, or, you know, are interested in connecting with other education leaders in that realm. A lot of people don't even know there's a forum resource where different teachers can get together and talk. So the end in mind is really to create a hub for those different facilitators and educators to come together and to really learn and thrive in that space.
Fantastic. So what would people find at Geocaching EDU?
So you will find a number of different assets. So there's a 101 brochure. There is a 101 presentation. So we actually get a lot of requests in through our help center. Hey, I'm teaching geocaching at a library, or I'm teaching geocaching. So this one presentation gives people very basic overview of the game and walks them through a process in a very simplified manner, and hopefully in a way that they can join the geocaching ecosystem and not disrupt anything, but really join the game in a healthy way. And then we also have, what else do we have on that page? Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Put you on the spot now.
Posters. So say you're at a 101 event and you want to say you're hosting something geocaching, we have really fun posters. We have resources for that show where scout troops can learn more about the merit badges that you can learn through geocaching. A lot of people don't even know that's something scout troops can do. And then we also have a link to the education forums where I hope different educators will get together and talk more about how they're using geocaching in the classroom.
So you're bringing all these resources to us. How do geocachers get and use these resources?
So everything is available for downloading and printing. You can do it in-house or professionally. We have printed some at geocaching as well. You can always write into us if you are attending you're in Seattle area, we may be able to provide some of those resources for you as well. But for the most part, we wanted to make it easy for people at home to download and use for their own needs and uses. That work?
Nice. Yes, perfect.
Okay.
I saw Land Monkey had frozen there.
Yeah, sorry, I had to briefly go deal with a very loud noise-making person near me.
No problem. Have educators been involved in putting all this content together?
So we have some very great established relationships with educators in the community. Dr. Stan Pauly is actually, I've interviewed him a few times on our blog, and he's a fantastic resource. He actually uses mystery caches and puzzles to teach geocaching in his classroom, and so he's been really helpful. But for the most part, we kind of revamped some of the assets that we had from a while back. And then we did actual direct user testing with different audience. So people who had never heard about geocaching before, we ran these these collateral by them and ask them questions afterwards. Do you understand what the game is? Can you explain it to a 5-year-old? So it was definitely more of, we tested it on those people that they're going to be used for.
Wow,
that's fantastic.
That is fantastic. That's cool. You've really done some in-depth work to make sure that there's some quality stuff here. So if I'm new to, and I'm not, but if I were to be new to geocaching and hadn't really heard about it, is geocaching.edu going to be something I would be seeking out or interested in as an educator?
I would hope so. It's actually on the newsroom. So it's newsroom.geocaching.com/geocaching EDU. So newsroom is actually a new website for us as well. That's where we house like all our reporter information. So when someone's writing an article about geocaching, they can go to that website. And I actually manage it all from my end. So that's why we added the EDU room there, because it's really easy for me to go in and update things all the time. As opposed to geocaching.com, it's a little bit more, it goes through developers. So it's nice having that available. But yes, if educators or someone brand new to the game is interested in learning about it, that's a great resource. The 101 presentation is very simple and easy to go through. And it's actually a great way to introduce yourself to the game as well.
Very cool. And yeah, so we've posted in the chat. But if you're listening to the audio, again, that's newsroom.geocaching.com/geocaching EDU, all one word.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be in the show notes, so you don't have to stop right now while you're driving and write that down.
Yeah.
It'll be in the show notes. You can get to it anytime.
Yes. If you're writing while you're driving, there's a different problem. But you know what? We love you all.
I make more
also,
misspellings that way.
Sorry. If you don't remember that URL, you can always, it's at, there's a link to at the bottom of geocaching.com where it's like the press link and it goes right to the newsroom.
Awesome. I bet you if somebody Googled geocaching EDU, they'd probably get there too, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
There
It has good SEO.
Nice. Of course it does. Of course it does. Great. Carly knows her business. Are there ways for people to get support for the geocaching EDU resources, or is it sort of like you're on your own?
What do you mean by support? Like,
so somebody's found the geocaching EDU site as they've Googled education and geocaching, and an educator who wants to know more about geocaching, but they're kind of looking at it going, where do I start? I need somebody to guide me through this.
Sure. I'm always available to talk to anyone who's interested in using the materials and wanting to use it at an event, where they can go and print it, where the dimensions, and there's a link, or an email address, pr@geocaching.com. If you write into that, you'll get me or Chris Ronan. But yeah, either or, that pr@geocaching.com is the best way to get in touch with me.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Since all these resources are out there, if somebody had an idea on how to use some of these geocaching EDU resources in an educational setting that currently isn't captured by geocaching EDU right now, how would they share that with you? Because I found that geocachers are very creative people.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to take things and use them in unique ways. For
sure. Well, the forums is a really awesome way to share that information with other educators, other facilitators. We've been watching those forums for years, and some teachers have created their own curriculums and shared it with other teachers. So that's one way to share your creative information with the geocaching world. But also, if there's something missing, or if you think you have something that would be really valuable to this site, you can write into me, and I'm really open to hearing your feedback, your ideas. This is definitely just step one. There's so much more we could do, obviously, with education, and we're always looking to improve. So please contact me, and I'm really open to hearing your ideas.
Nice. Now, you've done a lot of work of taking, I don't want to call it old material, but previous material.
It's pretty old.
The game of geocaching isn't old in, in the life of a tree old, but in technology, it's quite old.
Yes. Yeah.
You've taken this material, you've reworked it, you've updated it, refreshed it. What is the biggest challenge that you have in curating and maintaining all this material?
Yeah, that's always a challenge with any sort of print marketing materials is you usually want it to last about 1 to 2 years. But because, like you said, technology is always shifting and changing, we typically will go in. My goal is to go in every few months or every year and really make sure all those materials are up to date. So now that I have, our team has full control over this actual hub, and that it's not so much of a process of getting it updated on the official geocaching.com website, will be a lot more flexible and versatile with updating those materials.
And are these materials available for non-English speakers as well?
So far, most of them are available also in French and German. And then in the fall, I'm actually working with Erin from she's a translator expert, and she's going to help me translate into more languages.
Nice.
So, yes. So it'll be available in a lot of different languages, which is great for those emerging markets.
Or we do it in the international language of IKEA.
Yeah.
Pictographs.
Photos do very, very much help at the game though too. That's Instagram at all, but our community team has actually started playing around with Instagram stories. And I feel like that's really been helping new people understand what geocaching actually is, because you can explain it, but visually seeing someone go out and find a geocache or discovering a container, it's really hard to explain. You could say it's treasure hunt, but actually visually showing, I think helps a lot. And especially the different types of cache containers. I think that's a lot of people don't know what they're looking for when they're first out geocaching. So in that 101 presentation, we actually have some examples of what cache containers would look like. And there's different terrain sizes, all that sort of stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. We had some questions from the chat that I said I was going to hold on to until later. And now's the time. I'm so excited.
Great tease.
So there's 2 questions that came in and they're kind of related. So I'm going to read both of them to you and you can kind of decide how you want to address them.
Okay.
It's about retaining cachers in the game.
Okay.
And it sounds like your area, if I'm not.
Okay, sure.
So GSMX2 asked, I was just having a conversation about attracting new users versus retaining addicted geocachers. And how does HQ balance the needs of those 2 groups? So that's question 1.
Okay.
And Cliff Slaughterback asked, Carly, are there any efforts to keep novice cachers into the game? So they're kind of the same question, but kind of different.
Yeah, absolutely. So our team has everyone on the marketing team has a different specialty and a different focus. And mine just happens to be new users. So a lot of what I focus on is, introducing new people to the game through advertising, through external PR, the newsroom, education materials. And that's my area of expertise. Audrey, who's been on the show before, and Brigitte, who is our other third marketing professional, focus on retention and engagement. And they do that through those souvenir campaigns and, hidden creatures, the current Friend League challenge that's going on. That's something that Brigitte's overseeing. Any email marketing that you receive comes through those girls. So we're all focused on different things. And I just happen to be the new user person on the show today. But it's very important for us to also engage with our active audience and make sure that we're creating new and fun things for that audience as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I just want to add in, totally unrelated to that, but the fact that you brought in Friend League, I want to be able to on the air point out that at this present moment in Friend League, I am at 600 points and Rock Chalk is at 500. So just
if he's listening tomorrow, you're in for a rude awakening.
You'll be taking the day off tomorrow just to beat Land Monkey.
Fine. I've got a weekend coming up too.
Oh, Land Monkey, why do you do that?
Because I really, really enjoy taunting Rock Chalk. That's why.
Carly?
Yes.
there's been so much great information tonight. Is there anything else you'd like to make sure that we know about Geocaching EDU?
Honestly, like I'm so excited about this page, and I really hope that it becomes a great resource for geocachers. And if there is any feedback at all, I'm super open to hearing that feedback. So please email me, pr@geocaching.com, and would love to have a conversation. Also, if you're in the Seattle area, I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So sometimes a little later, but you can come and visit. Also, if you're coming to the office, I'm happy to have a conversation in the visitor center as well, like face to face.
That's awesome. Hey, so we've mentioned it a couple times. We've posted it in the chat. We're going to put it in the show notes for later. But just as a reminder, if anybody's listening, if they're interested in seeing the EDU pages and learning more, where should they go, Carly?
Newsroom.geocaching.com/geocaching EDU.
Awesome. So before we wrap up, will our listeners see you at any geocaching events this year if they're interested in meeting in person?
Yes. So I think I'm going to that GeoCoin Fest Fremont Brewery event, the opener, and I'll likely go to the mega as well. Depending, I might have a wedding that weekend, but I will. So priorities, right?
Yeah. You know what? See them on their first anniversary.
And then also, I don't know if anyone's heard about this, but we are hosting a GIF event this year in Seattle. So I hope everyone attends that. I will be there. And I was one of the judges this year for the videos, and I got to, watch them all. And some of them are so funny. So I hope you all can attend that event as well. I'd love to meet you.
Nice. Well, if you happen to be at GeoCoin Fest, make sure you stop by the Caching in the Northwest booth. We'd love to meet you in person, and who knows what we could slip your way. Just give you a little Caching in the Northwest paraphernalia to take with you.
What is that? Is it like a coin or?
We have coins and path tags.
Oh, okay.
We want to make sure you have things that Chris Ronan doesn't.
Okay.
There you go.
Great. I'll also give you guys my Lackey tags.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no problem.
And also, I looked this evening about the HQ. We pronounce it GIF.
GIF.
Is it GIF? Is it GIF? We say GIF. And that is the theater. I was there last year. The theater, I think they seat 117. That's an odd amount, but it's already about halfway full. So if you want to go to that, you better put in a will attend with the number of people quickly before that fills up.
Yes, absolutely.
So I put my will attend in this evening.
I did as well.
There you go.
So there we go. There's less space all the time.
Bit more of a drive for me, so I probably won't see you guys there. But
you should come. It's a great little theater.
It's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I just want to, before we start running through the credits here, I also want to throw out there from the chat, Carly, to you. We've got a lot of comments around the same theme that Keepers of the Cash Flow have written here, which is we love what they've done with both the newsroom and the EDU sites. Major work done in updating all the stuff. Hats off.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. I really appreciate that. It's been really fun to work on. So thank you.
Well, it's also been really fun to have you as a guest on the podcast tonight. So thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm so happy I'm finally here after 5.5 years.
Yes, we've been tardy in getting you on the show. We'll remedy that. You'll be back soon.
I'll continue to do cool stuff, so you'll have to invite me back.
There you go.
Well, as well as thanking Carly, we also want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Bounce, Team Squirrel, Limax, and WorldCaching.com. Folks, if you want to know more about supporting the show, click that Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website. And a big thanks out to all of our supporters. And those are Broncos Van for Life, Sprouter, Camp Clan, Tick Magnet, Kev Mac, D, Subway Mark, Doramore, Dune Buddy, Kid Vegas 19, Geo Nav Pros, Wino, Seattle, Ackerdoc, Billy Robson, Nice, Antaeus, Keats 94, Curiosity Girl, Trexer Zero, MC3 Cats, and Kennel Barb. Thank you all for your support.
You're good with that one breath, getting all those names out.
It had to be a bigger breath this week.
Yeah.
I ran out of air last week.
Well, Land Monkey,
Yes, sir.
you're such the geocaching superstar that people want to follow you, want to know about you, want to know what you eat for breakfast. Where can they find that?
Well, I post my breakfast cereal every morning on Instagram. So if you'd like to see it, no, I don't. Not a big food poster. But if you want to see, where I am getting more caches than rock chalk every week, that would be on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. I'm at LandMonkeyGC. And of course, Facebook, it's Team Land Monkey. And YouTube, we are moving our way through season 1 of Geocaching Adventures. We're about getting ready to release episode 4, which is also in Norway. It'll be a lot of fun. So that will be on YouTube, just LANMONKEY. Looking forward to sharing that with everybody. Carly, where would people get a hold of you if they're trying to stalk you on social media?
Oh, you can follow me on my Instagram. I feel like that's an open, I don't think that's private. So it's CGLADNIC is my username.
Awesome. All right. And Mr. of the Northwest?
Well, anywhere you can find Caching NW, Facebook, Twitter is where I update the most. But what I would suggest is head on over to cachingnw.com/hosts and read our bios and find all the links that we just mentioned and a few extra that we never talk about. And I just looked at that page this week and made some changes. So you're not going to know what you find until you go there. But most of all, we want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. Call 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment, ask us a question, buy us a gluten-free, organic, locally grown lemonade any time of the day or night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Don't forget that your support helps keep quality shows coming. So if you like this show, click on the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and more. The show's produced by Chris Umfenauer and Jake Kennedy, hosted by Chris J. and Jim Paulwitz. The show's licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2018 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, we invite you to stay tuned for
The After Show. Noise.
Just in case you've joined us for the first time,
The After Show
is an opportunity for us to interact with our live listeners, our live viewers, I should say.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you go and watch a Marvel movie and the movie finishes, there's a conclusion to the film and the credits start to roll, but then all of a sudden there's something really important that happens. This is the thing that isn't really important that happens.
This is the non-important mid or post-credit scene?
Yes, exactly. This is nothing like a Marvel movie, so that's why I made that analogy.
It makes so much sense to me now.
There. I'm here to help. Hey, so GSM X2 has a
×2
for tasks.
I'm going to correct you. It's GSM ×2.
It is ×2? Okay. I just like saying X2. I don't know why. Maybe
you can say it, but it's
that
not
Marvel
correct.
movie thing going on again. Maybe. He has a hashtag for tasks. Since it was brought up, where is everyone at with their friend league score? So I want to know, you two guys, where are you at with your friend league score?
Let me check.
All right.
Are you sitting down?
Oh,
Yeah.
but the week just restarted, huh?
I found a cache today.
Nice.
So I have 10 points.
Well done.
I'm at 140.
Well done.
Yeah.
How much do you need to earn the souvenir? 100? No, 60.
60.
50.
50. Okay.
50 for this one.
It's gonna go up.
Mountain bike's at 814.
Oh, I gotta
There's your challenge.
I gotta get him in my friend league. I don't know why he's not. I'll fix that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Gotta add
GSM ×2 is at 335.
Nice.
Cliff Slaughterback, who's CRS 98, is 230. Well, GSM ×2 has two. Oh, he's 50. Gotcha. I was like, he has two different scores. Brylang has 71 points this month.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, I see everybody's right.
Can we ask the listeners what they think of the new designs?
Well, you just did.
So we have a new, we have a temporary designer on staff while Roxy is out on maternity leave. And so you might notice that these souvenirs look a little different than our previous designs. So I'd be really curious to see what everyone thinks. I'm a huge fan, but yeah, I'd love to hear from the audience.
Now, this current promotion is 4 months long, 3 months long.
4
months long.
September, October, November, December.
And each month is a different theme. This month is Adrenaline Junkie.
Yes.
And that will be going until the 1st of October, October 2nd or some such.
Yes. And we'll share information about each challenge each month in the newsletter and on social media. So you'll hear about it there. And then you'll also see the new designs every single month.
Nice.
It's sort of a way to engage people it's a slower season, but we also want to, and it's really cool. So we want to highlight that as well. It's a feature we have on our site that people can use. So
you partially froze there, so we missed the last part of what you were saying.
Oh, also Friend League's pretty cool. So we wanted to make sure people know it's a feature they can use.
Right on. So you had asked about the design, and we've heard back from Brylang, who said he likes the new designs.
Cool.
GSM ×2.
I'm so proud of you.
The new souvenirs are very intricate and interesting. I like them.
Great.
There you go.
Yay. Thank you. Good to hear.
Nice.
CRS 98 wants to know, will lab caches count towards the Friend League points?
I don't think lab caches do. I think those are disconnected. But I will Google.
That's interesting because they count in your stats for your overall finds.
Yeah, I'm going to Google that actually, because
Three Hams did 2 caches, a 27 point and a 23 point cache. Boom, 50 points done.
Yes, so the Friend League does not. So sorry about that. It's a little disjointed.
So Friend League does not count. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Lab caches do not count towards Friend League. Okay. Let's see. Brylang also said 14 found it logs going back to, sorry, let me give you some history here, going back to the Glow, where the mother and 4-year-old found the cache. 14 found logs since a 4-year-old found it.
All right. So it got placed back.
Yeah. They found one other cache after that one and then nothing since.
That's all right.
Yeah.
IHAM wants to know who might be going to the Cache Dash Splash event this weekend. Is that on your radar, Carly?
I have not heard of that. What is that?
Oh.
It's down in Long Beach, Washington.
Ooh, I used to have a cabin there.
Did you?
Yeah,
growing up. It's a beautiful area. This will be the last year for it, unfortunately.
Is that confirmed? Chris, is that confirmed that this is the last?
Yes.
I heard that.
Yes, it says so on the cache page.
Okay.
There's health concerns. This is run by, I think she's changed her name, but it used to be Half Canadian and Scooter the Wonder Dog.
Yeah, it's also Wizard of Ooze.
Wizard of Ooze is the.
Oh, I've heard of that username.
I think she's Fun Beach now.
Oh, the name. Okay.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, this is going to be the last one. I think it's a 3 or 4 day event.
Oh, wow. How many attendees does it usually have?
Lots.
Number? Yeah.
Yeah. Long Beach. I mean, it's pretty crowded with cachers.
Have you guys heard of the Kite Festival?
Yes.
That happens down there?
That's going on the same weekend.
Oh, is it? That was so much fun.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
Look at it.
Really
cool. I'm actually, IHAM and Monkey Cakes and I are driving down Saturday morning to go do it.
Nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So we'll go down just for the day. It's a long drive, but my wife went a couple of years ago with me and absolutely loved the I can't pronounce the name of it. Chautauqua Lodge.
Oh, yes. Where we stayed. Yeah.
Where we stayed. And she goes, oh, she actually asked me, are they doing that geocaching thing down in Long Beach again? Well, yeah, it's just a couple of weeks away. I want to go. Okay. And everything had already been booked. So
Right. That's too bad.
Yeah.
like, you know what? I should go to this. So I'm going to drive down, and I contacted IHAM and said, hey, I'm driving. You want to come along? Yeah.
I have
So-
very fond memories of Long Beach growing
Mhm.
up. We had a cabin it's actually called the Kite House. And if you Google it, like Kite House, Long Beach, Washington, that was the house like my dad built for us, like as kids growing up. And now it's a rental there, and it has its own website. But every time I think of Long Beach, I'm like, I kind of want to re-rent our old house. It looks exactly the same in the pictures, and it has really cool kites up all over the wall.
Nice.
But I've actually gone geocaching down there a few times too, and razor clam digging is really big there. And driving on the beach randomly, you can drive on the beach.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Sometimes you get stuck on the beach, but
Yeah.
other times you don't.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a bunch of times.
So that is cool.
Land Monkey's changing the subject. Go ahead.
He's trying to bring up the fact that I drove on the beach and I almost got stuck.
Oh yeah, you did.
But that is so cool. I think that would be awesome. You should totally do that. And then you should like rent the place that you grew up in, and then you should write a guest blog about it.
And should I host a geocaching party at it?
Oh yeah.
Well, only if you invite us. Yeah.
Open event.
Right out on the beach.
Yeah.
There you
No.
go.
Yeah,
Big
it was
bonfire
right
on the beach.
Yeah, it was great.
So I'll go park our cars out there and leave before the tide comes in.
Yeah.
That's important when you
That's the important part right there. It may be a short event, but
all right, I will consider that for next year.
Awesome.
let's see. Our research department says the Long Beach Kite Festival is the third full week of August, an annual event.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it will not be conflicting with this weekend.
And Dora Moore says the wild thingies just headed down there today. Cash Dash Splash won't know what hit.
That's a group of caches from up our way.
That's
Now,
awesome.
Bryling can't make the PGCAR.
Prince George Cache and Release. That's
Thank you.
Northern British Columbia.
It sounded like a racing event.
It kind of
Not
is.
quite NASCAR, but also can't make the Boundary Country Geocaching Challenge.
Geocoin Challenge. Yep. That's
Yeah, you're right.
that's up in the interior, central interior of British Columbia.
But he is going to make the Seymour Hatchery in North Vancouver to ride their bus one way and then hike back 21 kilometers with friends.
Yes, that's where I will be.
And if you're, hiking with somebody for 21 kilometers, they become friends.
They better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. So I think that kind of wraps up what we've got here in the chat. It's been really fun hanging out with all you guys on the chat. And Carly, you've been a super good sport. Thanks.
It's been great being on the show. You guys are going to hold me accountable for our Long Beach party next year, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Now
I've
that
already
it's
got it in my
recorded.
calendar.
I've already got it down on the calendar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's recorded, so I can't out of this one.
The entire internet knows about it.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great information. And folks, until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.